I want to introduce you all to my 3 event horses today. We've got Zebedee, who's my 4-star horse, Todd in the middle, who's trying to groom me, who's at novice, and then Maximus on the end, who's just started eventing. They're all getting a bit involved at the minute. So this is Zebedee. He's my top horse. Zeb's 16. He's a thoroughbred cross Danish warm blood. He's out of Paul Romeo, and his mum was a racehorse. I've had Zeb since I was 19, I think, so 7 years. Zeb had done a few novices when I first got him, so I've done most of it with him. Zeb is competing at advanced and FEI 4-star, so next year we're going to aim to do some more 4-stars, try and aim for Blenheim and do the long format 4-star, and then our goal is, I don't really like saying it out loud, but our goal is to maybe do Badminton 2021, but we've got a lot to do before then, so we don't really think about it that much. Zeb is very grumpy on the ground. If anyone knows him, they'll know he's very, very grumpy. He doesn't really like you putting rugs on, he doesn't like you tacking him up. Once you ride him, he's amazing. He just does everything you ask of him. He really looks after me, but just on the ground, he's not that happy. He's much happier out at competitions. Take him to a competition, he's a lot nicer. The better he's got, the more of a diva he's become on the ground, but we put up with it because he's so good. We had, well, a bit of an on-off season because I broke my leg back in March, but he's had a very good season. He came second in the advance at the Festival of British Eventing in August, and then followed it up with a 3rd at Blair Castle in the long format 3-star, finishing on his dressage score. And then we went to Ireland to do our first 4-star, and he was so good. We just had 20 penalties in the cross country, which was just a bit of an experience from both of us. 7 years ago when I was 19 and he was 9, I was still at uni at the time, so I was in my first year of uni. My previous horse wasn't going to go, wasn't really comfortable with doing B100, so we got him just to do pony club stuff and do some BE sort of at 100 level, maybe go to novice, and so I took him all through pony club. I did pony club areas, pony club championships. I went to the championships, pony club championships on him 3 times for the eventing, once for the show jumping, once for dressage maybe, and then started, so we started at B100. That was the biggest I'd ever jumped. I'd done a couple on my previous horse, and then we've just progressed up the levels. So we actually won the Pony Club Championships eventing twice, in 2015 and 2016, and then we've also been, Zeb's done a lot, we've been to Royal Windsor with the University Team Challenge and won both times, and then we've just worked our way up through British eventing and worked from B100, moved to novice. The first time we moved to novice didn't quite go to plan, so we had to drop back down, and then from there we've just worked up, went and did our first 1-star, now 2-star, and then continued up to intermediate and advanced, and no one ever thought he was going to go this high. We bought him just to do a few novices because he'd gone clear cross country round 4, and yeah, no one including us thought he'd go any higher than novice, and every time he moves up a level we think that may be his limit, and he just keeps giving because he's just, we've got such a good partnership. I've had him for so long. He really trusts me, I trust him, and yeah, so he just does it. This is Todd. He is a 6-year-old Connemara out of Coral Gold. I've had him since he was a 4-year-old, so I've had him 2 and a bit years. Got him from a dealer. He had just come over from Ireland, literally, I think, a couple weeks before. He hadn't done a lot when I'd got him, probably, well, who knows what they do with them in Ireland, probably had been backed hunting. So I've done everything with him. We started and did a few BE90s and did some pony club stuff when I was still a member of Pony Club, and then have brought him on to do, he did his first novice this season, and also completed in his first international one-star over in Ireland. Todd is the complete opposite to Zeb and is the most friendliest horse ever. As you can see, he just wants to get involved with you all the time, and he particularly likes zips on your coat. So if you ever meet him, watch out, because he might break your zip. Yeah, he's just super friendly. He's got the nicest temperament. He's so kind. He just wants to play and cuddle you all the time. It's the same in the field with all the horses. Zeb and Todd actually do go in the field together and love each other, even though Zeb likes to pull on Todd's rugs and rip them. So Todd is actually up for sale currently. I just thought I'd put the feelers out there and see if I get anyone interested. There you go, he wants my zip. However, I don't really want to sell him because I actually love him. So if he doesn't, I'm going to keep him till next season, and then we'll event again and probably start at novice, continue do sort of most of the season at novice, and then try and do a couple of 2-stars. Yeah, and maybe try and get to a long format 2-star, maybe at Blair, because we loved Blair. He's just so bold and brave. Almost when I started him as a 4-year-old, he was too bold and too brave to everything, even with show jumping him. So he just kind of took over and thought he knew best, which as a 4-year-old he obviously didn't. Todd's had a good year this year. He came 7th in his first novice, and also got placed in the 100 plus before that. I think he was 9th there, and came 6th at Munster B100 in September as well. Todd's also been to the Pony Club Championships. He went for the 90 dressage and show jumping, and then he got placed in the dressage. He was 8th or 9th, I think. He's super easy and so relaxed that he can be ridden by lots of different people. Even Scott, who's my boyfriend, who's not, well, he's a bit horsey now because I made him horsey. He had only ridden maybe 7 or 8 times, and got on Todd in the school and walked and trotted, and also took him out hacking with me. So he's super easy. Anyone can ride him really. I've had other kids on him, anyone who works for me. He's the one I'd always put people on, because he always wants to, he's just so genuine and wants to look after you and help you out. This is Maximus. I've had him only for a year. Actually, I got him November 2018. Maximus is 7. So he is actually older than Todd, but he's really not done a lot. I got him when he was 6 and had barely done anything. So although he's 7, he's still very green. He is by Primitive Proposal. So he is actually thoroughbred cross Andalusian, which is a bit of a weird mix. His sire was thoroughbred, which is Primitive Proposal, and then his dam, can't remember the name, but she was Andalusian. He's super nice. He's also really friendly on the ground like Todd. Although I've had Maximus for a year, we've had a bit of an on-off year. We haven't actually done a lot. He just completed his first event a couple of weeks ago at Tweedledum in the 90 and came 3rd. He actually led the dressage. I think we had 1 down and 1.2 time cross country. If we hadn't had the 1.2 time, we would have won. I broke my leg back in March, so I didn't do a lot over the winter, just because he was still very green, show jumping, and he was a bit lucky with fillers, so I just had to get him out to as many arenas as possible. So I was just starting to get him out competing, and then I broke my leg, unfortunately, so I had to have a good couple of months off. And then where he's still quite green and young, I started flat working him, but I didn't jump him for another month after I started riding my others. And then he got kicked in the field, so unfortunately I had to go on box rest for a little bit. So we've only just got him back up and running. He is super talented. He's got such a big jump. His dressage is amazing, especially after having Zeb, who's cross country. He's a machine, but his dressage, the judges don't always like him. He's quite tense. So it's so nice having Maximus, who's just so relaxed with the dressage, moves really nicely, and to lead the dressage at Tweedledum on a score of 23 was just amazing, because we don't normally get that with Zebedee. So Maximus he's very laid back on the ground. He almost looks a bit like a donkey. When you get on him, he's a bit different. He's so nice and easy in the school, and actually out competing, but he's just a little bit sharp to hack. He just gets, I think, a bit excited and a bit bored, so only myself and Lauren, who works for me, can hack him out. I think he's still just young and green, so hopefully that'll get better with age. So our plans with Maximus, I've just literally today registered him BS, so we're going to show jump him over the winter, and then register him BE next year and get him out eventing. Hopefully, if the BS goes well, get him out straight out at 100, maybe do 190. I guess we'll have to see how it goes, but the aim would be to do a novice at the end of the season, maybe Smith's Lawn again, that I did on Todd. But horses are horses, so you always have to have about plan A, B, C and D, and just see where we go. And hopefully he'll go up the levels and follow up behind Zeb, because Zeb is 16 now, so he's only got a few more seasons left in him. Okay. Last but not least, we've got Bella, Black Lab, the team mascot, who's 2.5, so we got her about the same time as Todd, actually. Fun facts, hated dogs before I got Bella. Didn't want one, it was my dad and my sister that wanted one. Anyway, we got Bella, and as you can see, I absolutely love her. I even let her come in my bed. Bella comes everywhere with us. She particularly loves going to stay away competitions, because she finds loads of friends that she can play with. And she gets to sleep with us, so she's very happy. Bella's down the yard with me every day and comes on lots of hacks with me. It's very good. She comes in when I'm schooling, she'll just sit in the middle, or when I'm teaching. So there you go. Say hello.